Welcome back to the Rouges. We talk everything Canada soccer and U.S. soccer. Today we're going to be doing a review of the Canada World Cup qualifying squad release window that they have released for November this month for their games against Mexico and Costa Rica in Edmonton, Alberta. But before we get to that, I do want to mention and give a quick shout out to my favorite team, Toronto FC, beating Pacific, I think was it Pacific FC over in Vancouver, BC, and to get to the Canadian Championship final, and they will take on CF Montreal in the 401 Derby. And boy, oh boy, do we got some fireworks for the Canadian Championship! And I'm just so happy my team, Toronto FC, just digging it out. TFC, despite the season they had in MLS, they struggled, but they are somehow still found themselves a way to get themselves a berth for the Scotiabank CONCACAF Champions League if they beat CF Montreal. And there will be fireworks in this final, and I can't wait to see this one. And really hope it's hosted here at BMO. Maybe I'll get tickets if I can go, but we'll have to see. It might be snowed out, so I don't know when they're gonna have it, but I just do know my team, TFC, has made it to the championship of the Canadian tournament. And that's just great, But, so hopefully they'll do good in that. But without further ado, I do want to get into this Canada men's team roster, as there's a few questions that it kind of goes on to yesterday's videos I made about the new guy, Ake Ugbo. And by the way, he's in here. And I'm excited. And I really hope he gets some decent playing time in both of these games in Edmonton. But without me dragging on about stuff, let's get into this Canadian roster. We have Senyo Adekube, Milan Borjan, Tejan Buchanan, Lucas Cavallini, Derek Cornelius, Maxime Crepeau, Jonathan David, Alphonso Davies, Stefan Eustachio, Donnell Henry, Atiba Hutchinson, Alistair Johnson, Mark Anthony Kay, Kyle Laren, Richie Larea, Leon Miller, Kamal Miller, Jonathan Osorio, James Pantemis, Samuel Piet, Ikbe Ugbo, there he is, Stephen Victoria, and David Waterspoon. By the way, just like the US roster video, I will have a FootWiz kind of mock roster. Although I do gotta mention that for the Canadian FootWiz roster, they did Canada dirty. Canada only had a few players that I could choose for. They didn't even have the whole roster. Rather than the U.S. had an enormous selection. So, come on, FIFA and FootWiz. They did Canada dirty. Y'all need some more players. Put some respect on Canada's name. And that reminds me, just like what Alphonso Davies says, before I even get into any of that, Alphonso Davies, which comes from One Canada Soccer, he says that we put it into ourselves to show people we can play football. A lot of people can count us out as a footballing country. They say that Canada is a hockey country, and we want to change that. I mean, look at that. Alphonso Davies calling everybody out, as he should. Put some respect on Canada's name. Make the world respect Canada. Canada is transforming into a footballing nation, whether they like it or not. And on this line, I think that Canada will qualify for Qatar 2022, mark my words. I can tell, just everything right now is going in the right direction. Of course, things can take a turn, but I'm not going to think like that. We're going to have some faith, we're going to have some confidence, and we're going to believe that Canada will qualify for Qatar 22, as Alphonso Davies has belief as well as I'm pretty sure the rest of the names on this roster do too, and even coach does too. So, as I said, Ike Ugbo, but before I get to him, once again, FootWiz and FIFA, you need some more Canadian players on there. You guys are lacking. And that's why my FootWiz, unfortunately, does not quite imitate what I think will be the protected lineup, rather than it's a forced hand of what I had to pick from FootWiz due to limited options. So that wasn't any fun, but I still posted for you guys so you can check that out. People are all out of positions, but who gives a heck? Milan Borjan wasn't even in the net. I mean, he wasn't even represented. So I had to go with Maxime Crepeau. Yeah, it was a mess, but I still was able to make some fun out of it, something out of nothing. But that's time to dig into this roster for real. Starting with Ike Ugbo, I'm so excited. This guy, he really got caught into the lineup. I'm pretty sure he's going to be put in there immediately. I don't know if he'll start because I think they're going to try and work him in, but I'm pretty sure he already has a big role on himself, and I can't wait to see what he's going to do in Edmonton for both Mexico and Costa Rica. I don't know. I can't wait to see how fast this guy is. I still haven't seen any video footage of him, and I mean, so although we read about him, now we get to see him and see how he plays. What's his playing style? How does he play? It's just like that's just fun. It's just energizing to me, honestly. And once again, it just gets me exciting. Who can deny it? A new guy. Seems like a really priority player, also important player. I'm just curious to see how he'll fit in, as I said yesterday's video, how he'll fit into this Canadian attack. How is he going to be a key cog, which I think he will be into this attack. And but Ike Ugbo, I can't wait to see him. But other than that, the names seem the usual. I don't know if Maxime Crepeau or Milan Boyan is going to be in net, although, both have been in form. Maxime Crepeau for the Vancouver Whitecaps has looked really well. You can count on Tajon Buchanan being in the lineup. Once again, Footwiz didn't have him, despite how much of a show he's put on over in the New England Revolution, which is once again sad for Footwiz to not include him. I mean, come on. So Tajon Buchanan will definitely be in there. Samuel Adekubi will probably come off the bench. Canada's going to go with their same, almost similar lineup. I got to say similar because I don't know how Ike Ugbo is going to work in there. But we can guarantee and pretty much predict the same similar roster that we saw against Mexico down in Azteca, where they tied 1-1 thanks to Oso's goal from Jonathan Osorio. So I think for pretty much, other than a few kinks and stuff, it's going to be the same people. And why wouldn't you go with right? It's been working. The same group of people have been providing great results. It's also Canada's best. It's what they have, right? So why not go with them? Alphonso Davies and Jonathan David, Kyle Larin. Why not continue it? So, I just can't wait. So, that's why I'm fortunate it's not going to be as long, as more in depth as the US video, because we have the same names other than Ike Ugbo. But I did my majority of time talking about Ike Ugbo in my video yesterday. So, by the way, if you haven't seen that yet, go check it out. I think you're going to enjoy it, and we really learned a lot in terms of on paper about Ike Ugbo, the new Canadian recruit, an offensive player. But go check that out if you want to hear more about him. And but for that, I can't wait to just see him on the pitch. That's all I want to see now. It's just, how does he play? I know it's going to take him some time to get broken into this Canadian system, but other than that, how does he play? What is he going to contribute to this team? And I'm pretty sure we're going to get a lot of our questions answered coming up over the next 2 games and even beyond. So I just can't wait for that. But other than that, same list of names: Alphonso Davies, David, Larin, Buchanan. Can't wait to see everybody just perform. Hopefully, keep going off of this momentum to keep getting better. Keep trying to make a case for Qatar 2022 World Cup. So, with the roster, let's go ahead and do some predictions for these 2 windows. So, starting with Costa Rica. Both games, by the way, are in Edmonton. So, Costa Rica, Canada versus Costa Rica. I think Canada's going to put on a darn good showing here. I think Canada's going to come out on top 3-0 over Costa Rica in Edmonton. I think it's going to be a little cold, so we might have a little temperature factor there. But I think it'll be brilliant for Canada. Same with Mexico in a way. They're going to have a temperature kind of influence in that one too. But for Costa Rica, I think Canada's going to dominate. They're going to dominate possession. They're going to have more shots. I think this is where we're going to see Ike Ugbo come in around the 60th minute, or maybe even sooner than that at halftime, and just really put on a clinic. I don't know if he'll put on a clinic, but I think he's going to provide a spark. He's going to give Canada that spark they need to just keep getting more goals, keep getting attack. I just think it's good. That's how I think Ike Ugo is going to work in this case. Uh, but for that, I think Canada's going to dominate 3-0. I can't say 4-0, but if they do blow open the doors, then it will be 4-0. But I think it's going to be either 3-0 or even 2-0. They're going to dominate either way. It's going to be a solid win, and I think we're really going to like what we see from this Canadian team. And yeah, on to Mexico now. Same stadium, Commonwealth Stadium, Edmonton, Alberta. Mexico, once again, I think it might be chilly in Edmonton. And hopefully, by the way, I don't know how many fans are going to show up for this one. So hopefully there's more Canadian fans than Mexican fans. But it's going to be cold, so hopefully. So maybe Mexico, I don't know. Someone said Mexico doesn't do too well in cold weather. Columbus, Ohio for the USA. I think we've seen that too. But they're even up further north in Edmonton. And so I'm excited to see how that'll do for them. But for that prediction, if Canada, let's see, Canada took it to Mexico down at Azteca, 1-1. Jonathan Oso with the goal, as I said earlier on. I think Canada, in their home turf, they're going to defend it. They're going to grind it out. And I think they're going to come away here with a 1-0 win over L3. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be 2-0. If it is 2-0, then I'm going to be amazed. And if Canada really dominates here, I'm going to be amazed. But if Canada plays the same exact way as it did at Azteca, Mexico might make a few adjustments. But if Canada can play as they did down in Mexico City, I think Canada is going to come on top here. I mean, Canada should have won down in Azteca. If only a few more shots went their way, I think Canada would have broken through and really would have taken all 3 points rather than just the one. But I think Canada is going to get it done on home soil against Mexico. 1-0 in Edmonton, Alberta, Commonwealth Stadium. I think it's going to get done. I think this is the game we're going to see Ike Ugbo really shine. I don't think because Mexico doesn't know anything about him, and I think Ike Ugbo is going to be Canada's secret weapon here, along with Tejan Buchanan on the wings, and Jonathan David and Alphonso Davies on the Speed Demon wings, as I said in that video, by the way. So I think Ike Ugbo is really going to come out and be Canada's secret weapon here. If he's got speed, I think he's got speed. I don't know. We got to check him out. But if he's got speed, that'll add to the Speed Demons. If he can finish, I think he can. That'll add to the lethal finishing and the Canadian offense that we have here. I just think it's going to be a 6-point window for Canada. Hopefully, if they do the right things, that's important to know. So we put an asterisk by that. If they do the right things, if they play the right way, I think Canada comes away here with a 6-point window. And, I think it's going to be good for Canada. And Canada, depending on how the U.S. does against Mexico and Jamaica, I think Canada might leapfrog the USA here and go into second. And so, if they play, once again, if they play the pieces right, if they don't play the pieces right, then we could be looking at a very different outcome. But if they play the pieces right, I think everything should go in their favor. But, 1-0 over Mexico in Edmonton, I think that's how it's going to end. Canada comes away with 6 points, and that marks the halfway window. Canada will be looking at a very, very good window here, I think. And looking at their position, if they somehow leapfrog the USA to take second, or even Mexico for that matter, to take first. If Mexico just drops the bag or just fumbles the bag, and if Mexico has a bad showing, I think Canada and the USA might leapfrog them. So if that happens, both teams will be looking at a very, very good halfway point. So we can only wait and see, But the main storyline is if Canada plays the right pieces, they will do very well, and I think they very could do as long as everybody shows up. There's no slow starts. I think Costa Rica was a slow start, or Panama. Panama was a slow start. So if Canada can get that done, no slow starts, I think they'll fare pretty well in Edmonton to cap off the halfway part of these CONCACAF World Cup qualifying windows. And that pretty much does it. Ike Ugbo, I'm really excited to see what he has, as well as any other Canadian player here, and well as where he'll contribute. Go check out the video if you still want to learn more about him. But for that does it. That pretty much does it. Nothing really more to talk about here. If you like this video, make sure you like it, share, subscribe it, tell all your friends about it, and also tell all your friends that you can't wait to see Ike Ugbo on the pitch in Edmonton. By the way, Go get your tickets if you haven't already. There's still some available before they sell out.